It's Tony and Chelsea Live.
And this episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the easiest way to create a beautiful website, blog, or... Squarespace is amazing. We both have them. And if you want to try it on your own, you can go to squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code PHOTONEWS and you'll get 10% off your entire purchase. If you buy a year of Squarespace, you get a free domain name, which is nice.
Yeah, it's just a great way to make a website without having to get all nerdy and technical. They make beautiful websites. We'll take a look at a couple of Squarespace websites in just a minute. If you want to send your Squarespace website in, go to scp.io/link, fill out the form there during the course of the live show, not after the live show, and we'll pull some up. Maybe we'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
Did you mention the coupon code? If you want to sign up, go to squarespace.com/Tony. That'll get you a 14-day free trial. Then if you decide you want to continue using it, if you like it, there's no credit card required, but if you decide to pay, use the coupon portfolio.
But I think it was different on the slide.
Yeah, sometimes we have different coupon codes and we don't organize them very well.
Okay.
There's a couple of during the course of the live show. You can write a comment down below.
You can send a postcard.
You can send a postcard that might be a little too slow. Show's only an hour.
Yeah.
Anyway, our screener Siobhan is in Philly reading your comments, and she will say them to us if you are interesting or funny. You can ask questions or make us laugh, basically. If you're on Twitter, use the hashtag TCLive, and our producer Justin, who's working all the technical stuff, will throw it up on screen if he finds you interesting or funny.
The amazing and beautiful
So
Justin.
we set the bar pretty high here.
Yes.
This week we're reviewing creative
Spooky.
portraiture. So let's lay down some ground rules, because I know people are already like submitting pictures. Portraits are deliberate pictures, posing people, working with somebody, not candid pictures, not street photography. And creative means not your kids sitting in blue bonnets, not somebody on a white background, not somebody with their back against a brick wall.
What about a portrait and everyth's black and white except for the eyes?
Okay, can we just say no spot color right now?
Yeah, but just the eyes.
If you want to make Chelsea mad, send in a spot color picture, but you probably don't.
Yeah.
Next week we'll be looking at kid pictures.
No, actually only our kid.
Yeah, just pictures of Madeline.
Yeah, it's going to be a real tricky week.
It's going to be a weird week for her because some people really love to send pictures in, so she's going to get stalked at school.
It'll be her eating her sandwich.
It's like, why are there so many guys in vans with big cameras?
No, your kids, please never go near my child.
Yeah, stay away. Do you have any guidelines for it? Just any picture of a kid?
I didn't really think it through.
Okay. The poll all got a little messed up because sometimes Google Docs is buggy. Do you want sharper pictures? Go to sdp.io/11. I'm going to also ask if you want dynamic range in a bit. Just want to find out, simple picture. Are you happy with your camera's sharpness, or would you take more? Let's say it was free. Would you take pictures, or would you just not care? We get into this. We'll be talking about the 5DS-R in just a little bit.
Who would say no to that?
I don't know.
Like for free?
You think maybe it'll be a landslide? Maybe 100% of people will want sharper pictures.
I have to say, maybe, I know sometimes people think their pictures are sharp and they're not, and I always think if you're happy with them, I guess what's the difference? So maybe some people really don't care.
Well, all the time when something like the 5DS-R comes up, we get flooded with comments like, oh, who even cares? It doesn't even matter. Nobody ever makes anything more than a 3x5 print anyway. And this is how people type. Like
this?
Yeah.
Like an old-timey cartoon? Well, yeah. Someone said to me, like, only we cared, only we were pixel peeping at 100%. But I really don't think that that's true.
No, it's definitely not true.
That was silly.
I wanted to cover
this?
An important new product. Justin has some video that he can play for this. It's called the Selfie Pic T. And, you know, lighting is really important. And I do believe that selfies are going to continue to be important and even grow in importance. And people will start to care about things like posing, composition, lighting, storytelling.
Oh my gosh, stop
as
the
they
world,
take
I'm
selfies.
getting off.
So this person
No.
has put some thought into improving lighting during the selfie. So I appreciate that. And he's using uplighting.
Uplighting is so unflattering.
Well, no, not for fill light. I actually think this, looking at the sample pictures, I felt like it actually made things a little bit better. Added a little fill light, especially in harsh sunlight. You could see they're taking this in harsh sunlight.
This is so, yeah.
It's going to be a hit. He's trying to raise $500,000.
What is happening? I'm making my own.
Frozen pizza and use that silver pan underneath it and just stick it to your t-shirt. I think that's what he's done. I really do like selfies could get
This guy's idea out of the water. A belt buckle with an LED light that flips down so it looks like a normal belt buckle. And then when you flip it down, it's an LED light and it like fans out and then you look normal. Like you don't have to walk around without a shirt.
You know, those little like fold out diffusers and stuff that we use? You could put one of those in a belt buckle and just like...
You could be like really popular at parties.
Especially in Texas, because we have big belt buckles in Texas. So you can get a decent size out of that.
Or like I said, you'd look normal. You'd have this massive belt buckle. It would say the Chelsea light on it. Shark tanking.
You know what? You might be popular at parties if you could develop a way to take better selfies. Like, imagine if you went to a party filled with vain 16-year-olds and you had something that would let them take a selfie where they looked gorgeous. Don't you think they'd be in line to post an awesome selfie of themselves?
Let me just tell you what I've learned from being a photographer. Every person is vain. Every person's like, oh, Photoshop this. Like, you're setting a bad example for women. Then every single person that gets in front of the camera is like, could you just like shave my body in half, the skin of a baby? Every person, young, old, lawyers, doctors.
Yep, you get that like 50-year-old guy in a t-shirt with holes in it. He hasn't shaved in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you go to take a picture of him and he's like, oh, can you remove this mole?
Yeah, it's like,
like
take
there's,
this.
Doesn't matter. It could be a lumberjack. He's lived
Anyway,
in Alaska
I guess
for
what
2
I'm
years.
getting at is that my belt buckle is going to make millions.
Yeah. So screw you guys, selfie picty. We took your idea.
Thanks for the inspiration.
Made it better.
I'm going to be a billionaire.
You're MySpace, we're Facebook.
We haven't done anything yet.
We get all our news from Gigapixel pretty much. I just want to throw them a plug. Gigapixel's like a good website. No, I get news from other sources too, but this is also from Gigapixel. I just
I
want to throw them a
appreciate
little
you
credit.
like citing your source. I think that's great.
Gigapixel pictures are something that bother me because we all know that if your camera has like 20 megapixels, it doesn't mean you get 20 megapixels of detail. Everybody straps like a cheap lens onto something, but then they still count the meg. So you have to consider the lens and the megapixels and the total resolution you get out of that. Anyway, these guys at intowhite.com, they took a pretty incredible panorama picture, 365 gigapixels. But I just want to make a point about it. They put a 70D, which has a 1.6x crop factor, on a very sharp 400 millimeter f, very sharp lens. But then they also put a 2x teleconverter on it.
Okay.
So the end result is they're taking a 400 millimeter lens and turning it into almost a 1300 millimeter lens. So we have basically like 3x teleconverters on there. And the end result is going to be, especially on a 70D, which has kind of an older sensor and an anti-aliasing filter on it, each pixel is not going to be that sharp. At best, each pixel is like 1/3 of a pixel. So, okay, the picture has 365, billion pixels in it, which is a lot. But
that's kind of a lot.
It's still a lot, but maybe there's actually 100 billion pixels of resolution. I'm just saying, I don't know why we do this gigapixel thing based on the camera pixels rather than the actual like perceived pixels.
I don't want to sound rude, but I think you're splitting nerd hairs.
Oh, yes. Their stuff is really important to me. Anyway, that's a picture of their setup. But I want to show, this is what, if you zoom in, that's what the picture looks like. That's not like sharp. It's all super noisy and stuff. Point if you zoom in and it's not sharp. I could just take a picture and blow it up to a
I
gigapixel and
think
be like,
that,
it's
like,
a gigapixel.
I just find it really amusing that when you become a photographer, you do become oddly critical of everything. Like, you do. You're just like, this is impressive. What was I, born yesterday?
You know, it'd be like if somebody set the world record for hot dog eating, and then you looked into it, and he
You
was
have
eating
my
like
attention?
those little Franks in a can,
Vienna
and he'd be like,
sausages?
yeah, and he'd be like, this is technically hot dogs. I'm like, yeah, all right, that's not what we meant.
That was a really good analogy that I related to on a deep level.
I want to, you love hot dogs. I want to share some 5DS-R results that we haven't published yet. But first, let's see if we have any creative portraits to take a look at. Last week's bird photos were pretty amazing. That's right up people's alley.
I think the portrait is of this little dino dude.
Yeah, this is not, I imagined like intricate dresses and fantastic storytelling.
Well, it's hard to tell what it's of if you don't crop.
Yeah, there's a distraction in the photo.
There's a
You
huge
better
distraction.
crop that distraction out. Oh, this is looking so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Nicely done.
I'm going to raise the shadows.
Chelsea, what are you drinking today? I love that he's got a big
I'm actually
grin.
drinking just a little bit of tea and some water.
I just want to make the point that you're completely sober today.
Even
Even though you're acting like a maniac.
Yeah, but you know what? Whenever I'm drinking, I'm not even drunk. People always think I'm drunk. I'm like, guys, I'm just unruly all the time.
Yeah. All right, we fixed that for you.
I'm gonna just show a before and after.
So much better. So much more creative now too. You didn't even know he had sunglasses on. I don't know.
I don't know what the point was, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's not a portrait.
I wouldn't, yeah, but it does have storytelling. Okay, here we go. I want to say they're doing
They're
like
fighting.
a Jersey Shore thing, but they could actually be from Jersey, so I'm not, and that might be terribly insulting to their people.
You're so Jerseyist.
Um,
I like it. She's upset. He's wondering what he did wrong.
yeah, exactly. It's got a bit of storytelling there. She's in a very feminine pose looking at her fingernails, while he's very masculine and what has become known as a wife beater t-shirt. I don't know why it's okay to call a piece of clothing,
I call it a wife
name it after
respecter.
abuse,
Yeah.
physical abuse.
Yeah.
That's really cute. I like that a lot. It's got a key piece of storytelling in there.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they researched you. I feel like they're pandering.
Oh, nobody researched me and put up a picture of a Mac.
A
Are you
man
kidding?
cuddling a computer. No,
No.
I really like this picture.
Yeah, I like that picture too.
I think that's film. I can't really tell quite as clearly, I don't think.
What is an MP280?
Yeah, what is that?
Nobody knows.
Justin's on it.
I like that his body disappears behind the computer. Like, does he even have a torso?
Is there more metadata?
It's
here?
film. I think it's a film scanner, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think that is
That's
actually
nice.
film. I wonder if that was taken from the time. Okay, that's
That's a creative portrait.
creative.
It scares me.
Yeah.
Oh, it freaks me out a little. Like, if you can see if you just squint a little bit and you can see it as a profile, he's got a very skinny neck. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
No, I don't see that. I became immediately obsessed with the way the nose was turned sideways and the way the glasses seemed to be bent.
How did he do this? It's really scaring me.
Okay, we're moving on.
They
A good
are-
shot. I liked it. I
Wait,
thought that was
Are these
creative.
people, they're actually, they're cake? Are they being their own cake topper?
Is that what that is? I'm not sure I get the story. I don't know what they're standing on. Like maybe it's something regional. But
This-
yeah, maybe they're being a cake topper. If that's the case, like some more intricate icing or something might make it clearer. But it is creative, and I don't know how they got her up there in that dress. They must have rigged up
Maybe
some sort of crane
that's her
system.
shoes. Maybe she has very, very tall
That is the latest trend.
Mhm.
I saw Kim Kardashian wearing shoes like those.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
all
I
right.
know. I know.
I
This
know
is
who that is, yep.
Erky's.
Oh, it's
5.
Erky's?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen
Emma
this before.
got freaky.
I like this a lot. Are those, is that just, I guess it's a veil. I saw some
Oh, yeah.
sort of, why
Spook.
this thing zoom 1 to 1?
This was a sneak
I like
to
that too.
see if I'll say nice things about it.
Why do you think he's sneaking it in?
Because
Great shot.
he's sneaky.
Pick.
Is this guy hanging out with himself?
Okay,
What
I
is
guess
this?
that's creative and
I like it.
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, I like it too.
The Duck Dynasty. That's cool. I'm into that. Oh,
We learned a little about him.
that is great.
Oh, that's a great shot. Yeah, it is a great, great shot. Some natural framing in there. Nice rule. It took some work to
Wow.
perfectly focused. Really give that person a pick. And 5 stars. That was a really nicely done shot.
I'm impressed. Cool. Look at
Yeah.
this sassy.
This is really nice too. And by the way, a low-key shot, but properly exposed because her
Yeah.
face is nice and bright. We have those white highlights in there.
That's a really cool shot. I'm gonna give it a 5-star and a pick.
You know
Yeah.
what's a good show for
What?
understanding how to use low-key shots is Game of Thrones. If you watch Game of Thrones, they have a lot of dark shots that take place at night. But in every scene, there's a candle or something that's burning and thus is completely white. Because without it, it's just dark. You need something bright in the shot. We preach that all the time.
I
This
just
person's
cropped.
done it correctly.
Hey, it looks nice a little closer. Oh,
Yeah,
shade
I wish
crop.
the before after shows you that. What's up with this up there though?
A reflection in the window.
Oh.
Hang on.
I just sort of cropped it out. I was confused.
This
by
is
that.
lovely. I think
Yeah,
this is a
kind of
good
an
candidate
environmental
for.
portrait. I like the light coming in.
I like the black and white.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely.
Nice.
I'm actually gonna put his eyes at the top third of the frame, I think. Just a little closer.
Yeah, I like the grittiness of it.
I like that. I'm gonna give that
Kind of fashiony.
5. Save the date. That's not. Is that a portrait? I get it.
Yeah, I'd call it a portrait. I mean, it's it's one of these
It is.
photos.
It's boot scooting, cute and.
I hesitated. I know some people are like, you saw my picture and you hesitated. What were you thinking? I was thinking, was this creative or is this of the formula? Because there are so many like relationship, engagement, wedding photos are creative, but then you look and you see that somebody has done it
It's
before.
like on Pinterest.
Yeah, they go
everywhere.
through Pinterest and they find a pose, and that I would not call creative. The shot overall is creative. If you're, I guess,
I've
if not
seen
well
this.
done, that particular. Oh, that is cool.
This is what I look
There's
like
actually
after a
some
long
mood in
night.
here.
I'm like, why'd I do it?
Chelsea just likes to peek in the shadows and see what she can uncover.
I do. I am really just spying on people, but you can't see her screaming. There
Yeah,
she is.
I didn't mind too much. It made you look a little bit deeper.
Oh my
and I was
gosh, she's
okay with
wrapped
that.
in bubble wrap.
Yeah, I don't understand that part of the story.
I'm going to take credit for that. I feel like I really inspired people
Yeah.
with my bubble wrap.
Yeah, all bubble wrap related portraits from here on. Chelsea gets credit.
Well,
for
you
it.
know what really stinks about my job is that if I do think of something interesting in a tutorial and that everyone copies it, it's automatically stupid. Right?
Oh, it immediately becomes overdone.
It immediately becomes overdone. And it's this.
Too, not the say cheese expression, something different. I like the hair over the eye. I like that shot a lot. Pick.
Oh, you picked it.
Oh. So she's behind a wire fence. I feel like, and like, she looks a little worn out, kind of like she has an expression. What does it say to you? There's smoke.
I feel like prison.
Yeah, I feel not jail. To me, it's like in an animal cage or something. Like it's just because the bars aren't jail cell bars. So yeah, to me, it kind of feels like she's captive. I like it.
I
Even that one I
I
picked too.
think that he's a
Creative
talented
portraiture.
photographer, but the story doesn't make sense to me. The story.
Yeah, of somebody who at the same time maybe if she had black marks on her face or her expression was a little more of that, or the outfit was more
Yeah.
consistent with the story. The outfit seems nice.
Yeah.
Her makeup seems perfect and such. But nonetheless, I thought it was
I
eye-catching
think it's
photo.
a nice shot. Oh my gosh. I really like this picture. I know it's unconventional, but
I
I love it.
I don't want to insult anybody's kid, but it kind of makes me think of this.
Why would you ruin that beautiful child for me? What? You don't want to insult anyone's kid, but you're going to call them that? Like,
Expression. Wow.
wait, is that zoomed in? No, that's zoomed in.
Is a tight crop.
Great lip skin, though.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I've never seen a portrait like that before, so it's definitely
it's definitely
creative.
different.
That is super cool.
Wow, I just think light
Getting a
bulbs
pic from
are
you right
very
away
expansive.
when you bust out big swords and start breaking stuff. That's awesome. Look at that. Oh,
That's Photoshop.
yeah. What's going on with that? Oh, I see. They added some splatter and at a wide angle, it looked good. Broke down as it got a little too tight. So we have a
Yeah, I think this is nice.
beautiful light.
I'm always
Yeah.
peeking in the shadows. I think it's underexposed.
Yeah, I would definitely brighten it up. It depends what you're doing. I might even raise the
It's nice.
blacks or lower the blacks.
I love the light.
Let's see if that's better. Huh. Yeah, that is cute. The focus is off the main subject, which makes it kind of nice, makes it more moody.
I wouldn't call that a
creative.
portrait.
Okay.
Hey, like, what? How are you defining portrait? Where are we coming from? Let's try to get on the same page here. Like,
You're
feel
the
like,
one who came up with the creative portrait idea. How do you define it?
I just think like it's mostly about a person's face when it's a portrait.
Yeah, I would say it's about the person, but I think it could also be telling a story about their personality in some way.
Okay. I feel like they have to be recognizable. I guess they
Yeah,
would. He
maybe.
would be to his parents. What does this story tell?
I think this guy likes Star Trek.
Star Wars?
I was just saying that to annoy the nerds. Immediately identified two nerds.
Uh-oh, Justin.
Also, there are a lot of people in the audience who cringed. You're a nerd.
Tony,
I know it's Star Wars because I'm a nerd.
You know what? I don't like that you took your mistake and then you turned it around and
Oh,
tried to
please,
make it
like I made that
like
mistake.
we're wrong. And I think that's really telling about your personality, and maybe you need to work that out.
If you want a nerd throwdown, I'm ready. I know you're
don't.
going to raise the shadows, hide and see what's hiding in there.
I can't. I feel so helpless.
Oh, sneakers are hiding in there. That's what he's hiding.
I like it a little
Well,
bit.
sneakers were the wrong footwear for that.
That's cool.
You want like a long black robe, I think, but it is cool. The
I like his
special effects
Raiden
turned out really nice.
pants.
Raiden.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you
you
got the
made
Mortal
Justin
Kombat.
mad again.
What? Why would I make him mad?
It's from the Sith Lord.
He had lightning hands?
He had lightning hands. See what I have to live with? Raiden.
A beautiful woman. Too beautiful for you.
I guess there aren't too many nerds out there who are like, I'd much prefer Star Wars knowledge.
Woman. Okay. This is so spooky to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why so many pairs of sunglasses, you creep?
So many sunglasses and no eyes at all.
It is a creative picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to call it a portrait since there's not a person in it.
I do appreciate
But
it.
I
I've never
like
seen
it.
anything like it before.
That is true, and that's really what I was looking forward to with this. Just seeing some different stuff.
Yeah, I like to see different. So I'm going to give you 4 stars for being different. I took off a star because I feel nervous.
All right, an
Science
environmental
girl.
portrait. She's doing some science there.
Love it.
I presume.
I'm going to bring up maybe like her skin just looks a little like, see what's very middle gray.
Yeah, it seems like lighting those goggles was tough. I don't know how I would do that because I've not done that before.
Oops.
I might also just show a little bit more of the beaker because it's clearly she's looking at it. So your eyes go to her eyes, and then they immediately go to where she's looking, which is the beaker.
Yeah.
But the beaker's actually out of focus and mostly off the frame, so that's a little
Eye
unsatisfying.
contact ends up in being an invisible line. So wherever your subject's looking, there's a line going from their eyes to where they're looking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Somebody got into the tape.
Yeah, I've had toilet paper accidents like that too. Sometimes it just gets all tangled up.
That is spooky. I give it 4 stars, 1 off because I got scared. Hug me. Don't bug me. Okay. I get it. It would bug me if people hugged me. But
She kind of looks like Aubrey Plaza, doesn't she?
mm-hmm. I can see
Yeah.
that. I like it.
Yeah, I like that too.
Oh my gosh. This is like when you're being kidnapped by this family.
Yeah,
I like
this
a
is.
lot.
I like this too. It immediately made me start thinking of a story. Though my eyes immediately went to what she had in her hand, and I expected it to be a weapon or something, and it looks like it's the key fob for the trunk. But I like it a lot.
I do too. I almost want to do something to it, like pump it up and make it surreal. And
You know, it's such a first-person shot. I like it. Maybe if, like you saw hands in the front that were like bound with a rope or something, as if they were your own hands.
I like leaving it up to the imagination a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. I like the sky too, and the like bright primary
I just
colors.
ruined the colors, but
Almost the cartoonish effect.
excuse me.
I like that too. This feels like a conceptual photography. Like they feel like they've had their voice taken away from them for something or other. Yeah, you know what? I'm giving that 5 stars. I like that a lot. And the portrait itself is perfect. The exposure is perfect. Skin tones, the lighting, the background blur, everything's fantastic about it. I like that too. Again, it's a bit of a stretch to call it a portrait, but maybe you know the person.
I like it.
Looking here,
I think part of what's making it seem very Brady Bunch. Let's get rid of that and see where that takes us. I do like.
we were just talking about how eye contact makes your eyes follow it.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of
What am I
doing that,
doing?
and you can see your eyes kind of bounce around. Like if you start at her, then she looks up at her, who looks down here, and then comes back to you. If you start here, then he looks up at him, who looks down here, and then comes. Yeah. Shot. Goodness of it.
Yeah.
As we were saying, looking at the histogram, I can see there's no white there, so I'd probably just bring those whites up and make it brighter.
Oh.
To it, but you do just want a touch of white in there
Let's
somewhere.
see. Let's press Alt. so we can see. A
Yeah.
speckle.
Just a speckle of white. Now, if you wanted it to be low key, you could always just like drag down the midtones a little bit, you know, make his face darker, or even bring it back to the original brightness. Just include a touch of white in there. Really
I
nice
like that
again.
picture a lot. I'm going to give that 5 stars and a pick.
We'll come back to pictures in just a bit.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
not go
we're
back
going
to
back to
Bat
Bat
Boy,
Boy?
but you know, let's see if we have any portfolios to look at. Okay. Cog photography?
What is it?
Cog photography?
Cog photography.
This is hosted by Squarespace, our sponsors. So right away, nice full screen interface. Looks really good. Wish that picture had some white in it. We were just talking about this. Same with this.
Well, I think that
The white text overlay
there's
to make the text.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. As far as an overall layout, there is white in the image. It happens to be in the text. So they've created kind of a different categories. And this is the layout I have not seen. I like this a lot. I might have to use this.
Let's do headshots since our theme today is portraits.
Okay. Oh, I love the geometric layout. I've just not seen this layout before. I love that these are all different people,
Yeah.
but with very similar lighting. My man's hair here.
Right. That girl has the same hair. Is that photoshopped onto the man? What's happening?
I think he's just, it's like a bear ears. Like, you're not familiar with bears? I like it. These are cool shots, and I like the layout of it. I think it's really compelling.
Yeah.
I feel like he took all
I'm
these
so
at the same
confused
time.
about the
but
ears. But other than that, I like everything.
yeah, those turned out great. I think they were just having fun.
I don't like fun.
Miscellaneous. That's a cool shot. Oh, a street light. I like that
Yeah,
a
these are
lot.
great pictures.
Yeah, not too many pictures. I mean, I always try to provide some criticism. I wouldn't mind seeing that in focus. I think that picture would be easy to focus stack if you needed to. This, I just really like that picture. I want to ponder that picture, but not bore everybody. Oh, beautiful shot. Wow. Also, I just wanted to go back. That's a beautiful shot.
I like that shot a lot.
Yeah,
Great
so those
composition.
are actually some of your best pictures. Packages. You want to see how much he charges?
Yeah.
60 pounds for headshots. Pretty good. I see. He's got like a consistent set of those headshots. I thought just
Yeah,
turned
they're
out
really
great.
cool.
You got a good expression out of everybody.
Great pictures. I like his website.
Okay, let's find out about him. Christopher O'Grady. Oh, Cog. He likes thrilling stuff, and there's a picture of Christopher.
That's very cool.
Great shot. I think you did thing to say. Chris says Squarespace is a phenomenal service. He's been using it for a couple of years now, and it has been a joy. He knows HTML, Java, and C, but he still finds Squarespace superior to faffing around manually. Not familiar with the term faffing.
I am.
What's it mean?
Like,
Futzing?
yeah, I was going to say futzing, actually.
Yeah. We continue to test the 5DS-R after we released the previous video, specifically taking in people's feedback about what they wanted to see. So I wanted to go over a couple of more results. The whole crew went out to the woods to get some kind of landscape pictures against the D810 and the 5D Mark.
Okay.
I want a
Here's
size
the
picture.
thing.
Canon I have the 5D Mark 22 megapixels, 3 years old, with the same lens, Sigma 24 to 105. It's about a $900 zoom lens, so not the sharpest lens in the world, not a sharp
Right.
all agreed it was pretty obvious. We all look at it, and we thought immediately it looked sharper, but at the same time, it almost looked sharpened.
Yeah, I thought it looked sharpened, so I said, let's contrast, we'll get the same. Just
that example here, but that's pretty cool.
distinguishable.
Yeah, it's close enough that I just wouldn't worry too much about it. And again, the D810 it's a great camera. It also doesn't have an anti-aliasing filter. The 5DS-R only has 30% more pixels.
Yeah.
So to me, I felt like it did get some detail, but it's close enough that probably nobody's going to really notice. I have 5D10 on the shelves, but
No, they look very, very, very similar to me.
I thought they looked really similar
Yeah.
over the Canon cameras. And at least looking at these pictures, we took a couple different scenes. I didn't see enough to fuff about, Vocabulary didn't do a very good job. Cast with bridge raised 3 stops or something ridiculous.
Oh, so the D810 looks like it has less noise in that example.
It looks way better, but
Mhm.
just like we did in the last shot, I decided to see if I could just make up for it with post-processing.
Yeah.
There is a relationship between noise and sharpness, because you can go into Lightroom or whatever and raise your noise reduction, and that will reduce noise, but
But
at
it
the
also
penalty
reduces
to
sharpness.
sharpness.
Yeah.
But if you start with a sharper picture, you can add more noise reduction, reduce the noise, and get your sharpness back to maybe the same level where it is.
Okay.
So I just added noise reduction to the Canon. The Canon is still there on the left. The D810 is on the right. And to me, they're pretty similar.
Yeah.
Again. So we're splitting hairs here.
Yes.
All this faffing about is just
All this-
over this tiny little difference. And
So much faffing.
yeah, we're just all faffed out. Want to plug something?
Today I do,
Okay.
because today is a special day. Today you can get 14 hours of video in our Lightroom 6 book for only $9.99. Actually, every day you can do that, but today it strikes me as so special and such a good bargain. And I think it should strike you too.
It is an awesome bargain. I'll also mention that we have a new version of SDP that's shipping now with 12 hours of video. 12 hours.
100 videos.
100 videos. So they're short videos. They're not long, rambling videos like this. We're sober in all of them. We just...
No, I'm just kidding. We are. Sometimes we're professional.
And look, lots of good reviews.
Over 1,000 reviews, mostly 5-star reviews.
People like that.
Free updates for life.
If you get the paperback, the ebook is free.
Can you even beat that? Free updates for life?
Yeah, no. Other people, like, how much does video training cost? Like hundreds of dollars normally.
Yes. Actually,
$9.99.
there are whole video training sets, and they have less than 12 hours of video, and they charge like $150, $200. They don't have me in them. They don't have Tony in them. It's appalling. It's sad.
You can get all of them at scp.io/store. Though I will mention I've started writing a monthly column in Rangefinder magazine.
Why? How did you find the time?
I don't have the time.
Is that you anymore?
Yeah, I had to cut out sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm a little. The May 2015 issue is out with my first column, which was a comparison of, it was a review of the Sony A7S as far as the video camera. Because it's mostly a photography magazine, but this is the motion issue.
Ooh.
So it's a beautiful magazine. You can read it online at rangefinderonline.com, or you can order a subscription to the actual paper magazine from there. Check it out. It's something else. It's a
Can you
beautiful
get a free
magazine.
subscription for a while? Some magazines have that.
Yeah, you can get a free subscription to it.
Cool.
Or you can just read it online. You don't have to bother with paper.
You don't
Save
have
a
to
tree or
faff
whatever.
about
But yeah, they have
with all that paper.
And there's a column for me on it. This is really cool.
Is that what is this? I was gonna guess, but then I was like, I don't even.
This is a telescope, and it's an interesting design, modeled after the eye of a dragonfly, which actually has tons of little eyelets on it. So what they've
Okay.
done is they've taken, this is like the second generation of it, they've taken 10 400 millimeter f2.8 lenses, which are actually the same lens they used in that Gigapixel picture from earlier because it's outstandingly sharp. And they kind of blend the pictures together. So each costs about 10 grand each. So this is about $100,000, which, I mean, we'll spend more on telescopes to help Hubble cost. But this is the kind of images that it can create. It can really pull out an amazing amount of detail. So I just thought it was interesting. It's a cool design to combine
the
multiple
heck?
different lenses together like that.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I really want to get into astrophotography. It's just that I want to get into it, then I look at stuff like this, and like people set the bar so high.
Yeah.
Like you get into portraiture and you're like, I can get a 70 to 200 and some lights. Get into astrophotography and you're like, I don't have $100,000. I cannot put a telescope satellite into space. It's out of reach.
Okay. Well,
I also want to show off Max Ellis's work, and in fact, I really want to do this. We've actually
Squirrelissimo.
talked about this before, setting up little stages for squirrels, because we have squirrels that are bird feeders.
and we love them.
Yeah. So he's set up little props for them, and they're curious animals, so they come and they interact with them, and then when they do, he snaps pictures of them, and he's got a lot of pictures there if you Google.
Look at
Google
this one,
it'll
carving
come
a
up.
jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, I like it a lot. So the knife, the squirrel did not bring the knife.
No, I'm pretty sure it did. Go under.
I imagine how these things work. This guy is just getting jacked. He's just getting pumped. He's swole. And that
You're
guy's
really
spotting
hip
him.
today. You're so hip.
No, I'm hip every day.
Oh.
It's been a while. We should check in with Siobhan and see if Siobhan has any comments or questions. Or Justin, if you've seen a tweet or something,
Justin, have you seen
jump
it?
in.
No, nothing too exciting.
Yeah, you guys are really letting us down today, apparently. Justin says big disappointment in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Someone wants to know what studio light stand you recommend. They bought a beauty dish and boom today, and the current stand is now doing an impression of a fishing rod.
Yeah, we had that problem.
I'm going to look at B&H real quick and see if I can't
I know. I
find
can't
the C-stand
remember
we use.
exactly the name of it, but we really like it, so it's worth looking up. In the meantime, would you like to read another question, Siobhan? Is that okay with you, Tony?
Yeah, go for that.
Sure. Jerry Johnson says, question, focus breathing. Is the focal length issue due to minimum focusing distance and magnification, or is it the arrangement design of glass elements?
Okay, so focus breathing is an effect where when you focus on something close, the effective focal length gets shorter.
Yeah.
Most high-end lenses nowadays, the front element doesn't move in and out. But with any piece of optic, if you want to focus closer, you move the optic away from the sensor. So it needs to move out
Right, it's moving out.
in order to
It's-
focus
yeah.
closer. Focal length, how narrow your view is defined by the focal length. A long tube, like a long telescope, sees a very narrow angle of view. So long tubes give you a narrow angle of view, and a longer distance between the optics and the sensor lets you focus closely. So these lenses, they don't get longer. So what happens when you focus closer, where the optics need to move away from the sensor? It squeezes into the part of the glass that's been designed for focal length, that's been allocated to the focal length. So some of those millimeters from your 200 millimeters get moved into this area behind the glass and between the sensor. So it borrows from the actual focal length to put it into that focusing distance.
Okay,
That's
I
why
didn't
when-
realize why it was happening.
Yeah, that's why when you focus closer, it always gets shorter. Not always, because some lenses are designed with just enough room in the back that doesn't happen. And I don't know why all lenses aren't designed this way. Some are and some aren't.
That's weird.
It only matters if you're focusing up close at stuff. But with portraiture, this is something you do. You focus at a close range. With sports, not so much. Or wildlife, you're always focusing at a distance mostly. Both. It's really important. So it starts to come up a lot with the portrait lenses. And for example, we tested the Sigma 120 to 300, and at 300 millimeters, that lens had so much focus breathing that it was shorter at close distances than the Canon 70 to 200 was at 200 millimeters. So 300 was less than 200.
Yeah.
It's some crazy math.
Yeah.
Did that answer the question? What was the question? Oh, I don't know what the question was anymore. You can temporarily cure focus breathing by putting an extension tube between the lens and
You
the camera.
should save this for our focus breathing video that
I'm
we're going
giving
to do.
away everything today.
You always do
It's
this.
crazy, Tony.
You're like that show Silicon Valley when the guy's so helpful he walks in and just gives his formula to the other competing company and then realizes what he did.
Yeah. Just wait for the focus breathing video on Digital Rev tomorrow.
You're too nice. We've had competing photographers like make terrible offers to come on and then basically like undercut us, and Tony's like, sure, I love friends. I'm like, that's not a friend, Tony. Yeah.
Anyway, an extension tube will add that room between the optics and the sensor. Therefore, the camera will think at infinity when it's actually focusing close. It'll move those optics back and give the room back to the focal length.
And we
allowing you to
will
get
have a
closer
video
look.
on this.
And we will make a video.
More in depth. We should draw pictures.
And I'm not sure. We have a C stand. And what I would do, for the person who wanted to know about light stands, you probably want a C stand, especially because they have so much weight out on an arm. But I don't know which type of C stand we had. I would just look at reviews. C stand and then some sandbags too.
Just going back a little to you being so nice, I think there should be a nice off between you and Camera Wreck Toby, because today someone commented you were the nicest person on the internet, and I was like, Camera Wreck Toby might give you a run for your money. He also gives away so much information for free. He just seems like just a super nice guy, and we've interacted with so many other people on YouTube, and he just seems like really genuine and like honest and nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that guy.
We jumped into their live show last week, which is on Wednesdays, I think at 5.
Oh yeah, Wednesdays, yeah.
And yeah, they're just such nice people. They have a good live show. That was the first time I'd ever watched a live show, and it's funny because you get caught up in the comments, and it's like just like you're hanging out in like an old school chat room, like on AOL,
Yeah.
with just other photographers, and you find yourself forgetting what's going on in the show, and then
People
suddenly,
aren't even listening to us right now. That's
No,
why I get
of
away
course
with
not.
having such a foul mouth. Nobody's paying attention, and that's the way I like it.
So 94% of respondents said more detail is better.
Cool.
Only 6% thought their pictures were sharp enough. I'm a little surprised by that. I actually thought people would just be like, yeah, good is good enough. The other question, stupid.
Do you want more dynamic range?
Yeah, scp.io/poll12, do you want more dynamic range?
What kind of polls are these?
And dynamic range is just say no.
Okay. Oh, if you don't know what it is, say no.
I think some people don't know what it is.
Can't you just put in other and be like, yo no say?
I guess I could have, but I didn't. I
Okay.
would have put it in English.
I love chit chat.
Chit chat? What is chit chat, Chels?
Chit chat
I've
is the
never
part
seen
of the
this
show where
before.
we look at your comments and we respond in ways that are not helpful at all. And sometimes we mock you, and that's okay. This is the internet. This person said, this video is 100% dead wrong, period, flat out, etc., etc. Also, I'm doing a video tonight about phony Southrop and his BS and the perceptual megapixel BS. Blow this crap from the waters. I know this guy's being really rude to you, but I like him. There's just like a lot of emotion. Phony Southrop is hilarious. It's an insult I've never heard before.
He might be being tongue-in-cheek, but you can't even tell on the internet because he's so over the top that I think he might be having fun with it. But at the same time, we have people who are just as over the top and are totally serious. You cannot tell unless you like know the person personally. So I don't know, if you make a video,
He's gonna make a video.
I'll take a look. But
You know
note
what
that I
stinks?
covered up the name because we have had people who just were seeking publicity.
Someone wrote you that disagreed with you and was like, I thought you'd like it that I was stirring up controversy to get us both publicity, and we were like, why would we like that?
If you're
That's
familiar
lame.
with it, it's the guy who called me out on focal length. It's that
You're
guy. I
gonna
don't want
out
to say his
him?
name. Yeah.
Okay, that seems fair.
Anyway,
He
so
deserves
that's why I covered up the guy's name. If you do make a video, I'll take a look at it.
I'm gonna
If it's funny or scientific, if it brings something new to the table, of course we'll share useful information. If you're a jerk,
I actually had just.
we're not publicizing.
I had a
jerks,
great
though.
business idea for me.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make an anonymous account, and then all of my videos are just gonna be like what everyone wants to hear. I'll be like, Tony Northrup is wrong about spending money. Canon fanboy tripped and fell today. Like all just like bashing.
Mhm.
It's the views.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
you
go
just
for
have
it.
some negative energy that you want to get out.
No, I'm just gonna head off the other people. I'm gonna be the most successful troll.
Oh, yeah.
Think it over.
Just because we get this question all the time.
Nikon versus Canon on video.
Yeah, and I've just been saying that it doesn't even seem relevant anymore because Panasonic, Sony, and even Samsung have left Nikon and Canon so far behind. If you're interested in video, like there are minor differences between Nikon and Canon. Some of the Nikon cameras tend to support 60 frames a second, which is nice. Some of the Canon cameras, like the T6S and the 70D, have focus tracking while recording, which makes a huge difference. But if you just,
What is that?
I don't know, Panasonic or whatever. So that's why we don't tend to address this anymore, because it seems like they're years behind.
Why do you even read long things? I
know,
never
that's
read
so
our long
long.
comments. Let's just. Tony was joking when he said Chelsea was 50, right? No way. Is she a day over 40? If she is, my mind is well and truly curse word.
Cursor, because we're so clean
I'm
here.
actually 55 now.
We just celebrated your 50th birthday. It seems like time flies, right? Time flies.
Yeah, well, I just use that like
Apparently.
cream, and then I don't stress. So.
These comments are just so long. I thought this was a good idea when I put it in here.
He said, we live in a fake world. If my picture need 30 minutes to adjust, what do you do to that picture? It looks weird.
I don't know with the picture or why you'd want that.
Why'd
but
you share this?
as you get to be, Chelsea made a great point, but especially as you start to get more professional, you put more time into fewer pictures because you start to build up a portfolio. You're not cranking out hundreds of pictures or thousands of pictures. You're trying to get 1 or 2 pictures a year that go into your portfolio.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes is not a long edit for us. I've sat at a computer and edited a picture for multiple days, cleaning it up and perfecting it. Especially if you're going to sell a photo, sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah.
Really. In your first beginning, you're just snapping stuff and you're flipping through it and whatever. I understand.
That wasn't what my response said at all.
Oh, well, that was my
Actually.
response. I did read yours and I liked it.
You don't have to read it again.
Okay.
Hi, this is Andy. Wait, can someone please tell me what that is? Is that your phone on that thing? That's making me crazy.
Oh, it could
Hi,
be.
this is Andy, using my wife's account. I traded in my Nikon D7000 and 3 lenses for a Canon 7D with a 400mm prime, without long boring details. It is like going from using a go-kart and to a real car. I shot lots of wildlife, mostly birds, and loved the lens many times better than my Nikon and 70 to 300mm lens. Glad I watch your videos.
I just wanted
Sorry,
to
I
put something.
botched that. If there's like, never mind.
Videos, he got useful information, and he traded in existing gear that he had for gear that was more effective, and now he's out there enjoying wildlife photography, experiencing animals and what life is like, creating pictures that he
Yeah.
likes. I just kind of wanted to share something positive, and this is why we get into the camera reviews and stuff, because it does make a difference. People spend thousands of dollars on gear, and sometimes it ends up frustrating them, and sometimes it's because they've listened to marketing stuff or bad advice on the internet. So we try to steer people in the right direction, and it really does make a difference when it sinks in for people. So it made me feel good. Like, this guy's getting more out of photography. We and our experimentation showed the difference between good stuff and bad stuff.
That makes me feel good too.
On the other hand,
This guy's annoyed by your calm voice, but the production quality is really, really great. Keep it up. Yeah, could you make your voice less calm? I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
yeah, I'm gonna more truth about it.
I like that
But
you're
this.
Don't. Okay, I take that back. Be chill. Do you want more dynamic range?
Let's, before we do that, we'll toss it back to Siobhan and see if you have any more comments, and maybe we'll start to
Siobhan, can you do a flip,
see what
an
other pictures we
on-camera cartwheel, perhaps?
No, I can't even do an off-camera cartwheel.
I ask too much. I understand.
Yes.
got. Really disappointing.
Okay. I'm going to go to this one because I like it. What is your favorite photography joke?
I can't believe I don't have an answer to that. I hope people in the comments are writing jokes because I would like to see. When is the doesn't do jokes?
I've seen memes where they're like, the photographers, they like shoot people
That's not funny.
and hang them. On
Oh
the wall.
God, the
Yeah.
the shoot 'em, hang 'em, frame 'em. Well, I'll tell you what, if you have a joke,
Oh gosh.
write it
I
in the
don't know.
comments or the hashtag TC Live on Twitter, and we'll put it up. Because I'm sorry, we're drawing a blank. Do you have anything else, Siobhan, or did you have a joke, Siobhan?
No.
Okay.
That same person had a second question. Do you have to apply the crop factor to the reciprocal rule, which you have a video about?
Yeah. Yeah, you should do that. I mean, the reciprocal rule is just like a guideline.
Yeah, it's a guideline.
Like I took pictures of the moon with a 500 millimeter lens at 1/50th of a second. So that's like several stops below. And what I did was I took like 20 shots and I got like 2 sharp shots. So it's like a matter of percentages. You can be faster than the reciprocal rule, and most of your shots will be sharp. If you go the slower you go, you'll be able to use a lower ISO, you get cleaner images, but your percentages will drop. So just take more pictures as you start to go lower. It's not like it's a hard and fast thing. But yeah, if you technically you should apply it. People like rules and stuff, so
I get an idea of how close I can hover to it. I don't have a very steady hand, so.
yeah, I think I actually have steady hands. People just say that they're always just like amazed that I got a sharp picture or something.
Yeah.
But part of it is I just take a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, I bet this girl loved this picture.
Oh my gosh.
Don't
yeah.
you think she wanted
If
to
I
be
were
a
her, I'd bring it to
princess?
school and be like,
I think that's really
I
sweet.
have news. Yeah, it's really.
I've always wanted to, like, a little boy wanted to be Spider-Man, like Photoshop him really as Spider-Man, like make him look awesome.
Yeah.
I'm projecting because as a little boy I would have
You
loved that.
wanted to be Spider-Man.
So I bet that's a great shot. Pick another dark and moody shot. I like these a lot, and I like what's conveyed here. Very high contrast. Chelsea kicked her cough button off the table.
Getting violent.
Is that what that was?
Getting rowdy.
I like that picture. I don't want to change it or anything.
I love when kids like are always wiping their hair from their faces.
Yeah, it feels more like a candid shot than a portrait.
This is cute. She looks cozy.
I would call this a portrait if her socks are like important to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crop is
Great job with the hair and makeup, and the necklace and the outfit and the backdrop all ties together. The ring light. I think the effect turned out really good. Nice shot.
I like the lighting. Oh boy.
Explain this, Chelsea. Okay, so we have a juxtaposition here.
Yeah, we have like
Of somebody who's very done up, very ornate, somebody who would normally be on a stage or something perhaps, but then they're in a very gritty scene.
Yeah.
So we have that
I
contrast
think
set
like
up.
the colors don't match to me and there's too much going on. And I don't get the story. So let me go over what's right, because I hate when I just tear someone down, and
Right.
I know that you're watching and stuff. And so you got an interesting pose, and you clearly know how to take pictures. The exposure is right. There's a lot that's nice about it, but the styling, I think, is what's really getting me in the overall story. So if she were in like a nightclub, or even just on a black background, if this were boudoir, it kind of looks a little boudoir-y. It kind of looks, the styling looks a little bit like a Halloween costume, because I'm like, it's not a ballerina. She's wearing a bustier, so maybe it would be boudoir. Maybe she could be in a bedroom, but instead she's like in front of dump trucks. So I'm having a hard time with that.
By a couple of stops.
Oh, yeah, some eye contact, because I think it's also supposed to be sexy. So some eye could help.
Lighting. I think the blue sky definitely throws me off a little, because she's in this gritty environment, but then you see like the intro to Simpsons playing in the background.
So, but it's like very confusing to me, because I like things about it. I just don't like them together.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
why we're spending so much time on it.
Yeah, I
Because
like
it's a good picture, and we're
I
just
like
trying
the
to figure out
background
like
a lot. Like if
we
there
have
were
that
like,
feeling like we need to change something.
I know maybe it's probably just me and Siobhan, but like if there were like a hunky construction guy, then this background would make sense, and I would be more into this picture. If she were,
Don't be sexist. She could be a construction person.
I don't think so. If she were, I don't know where I would put her. I say I'd like a tutu, and then maybe put her in like a club environment, or like on a stage or something. I don't know.
She does look like she's raving a little bit.
This is cool.
It's very cool, and it's definitely creative. I love the effect of the, I don't know what that is,
This
but it's
is
super
like,
cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of started that sentence like you were.
Well, I
say
recognize what
something.
it looks like in Photoshop. It looks like a different layer setting. Like it starts to burn out the skin a little bit like
Mhm.
that. But
Yeah, it turned out cool.
It's
I like
cool.
it. Oh, yeah.
oh, we're fighting. I feel the same way about this picture as the other one.
Yeah, it's the mood that's missing here. It's the hard midday light, the blue sky. I'm not sure what the story is, but the mood doesn't feel like it's consistent with it. But it is creative, and it's clear there was a great deal of effort put into it.
It is
I
creative.
definitely applaud that. It's definitely eye-catching, and it definitely makes
And
you
I like
ponder.
the model a lot.
Just trying to provide some helpful feedback. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a compelling shot. I wish I had better suggestions for you. I'm not quite sure how to be precise about it.
This one totally makes sense to me. On the other
This one I
hand.
love right away a pick.
This one I just completely get.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Okay.
I love this expression right there.
Right. You can't even zoom in.
No, I wish.
This, like, he's got the glasses, dark background, suit, the outfit, the glasses, the expression, the background, they all match. So there's like a story. This reminds me of like Men in Black or something.
Yeah, I think
Secret
it's a Men in Black
agent.
poster. This is something a project I want to take on, is like recreating movie posters
Yeah.
for the sake of portraiture, and this guy beat me to it. I like that a lot. Nicely done. Perfect mood. Yeah, mood is so important. It's something
Well,
so many
it's
people
really
don't
hard because
consider.
a lot of people have someone style their whole shoot. Like you can't be good at everything. They get a makeup artist, they get someone to do hair, they get someone to do the set. Like that could be their whole job. They'll get someone to do the lighting. So it's hard to be a photographer. You have to be good at a lot of different things. This is awesome.
Yeah, great concept. I think it works for storytelling too. Now, they have like a very candid background, almost like just somebody's bedroom or something, almost like what you'd see in a selfie, but then they put in high production values, nice lighting, and then the composition and stuff. And I like
I
the
really like
candid
it.
look. It catches you off guard. You've got to give that 5 stars and a pick.
Yeah.
Our highest praise. So a silhouette here.
I do like the picture.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a portrait,
Yeah. Yeah. I like
but
it
it's
though.
nice. This just makes a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah. The guy is creative. I don't know that the portrait itself is creative.
Oh my gosh, please, that is just too cute.
That's pretty.
That is just so
Cute.
cute.
They get the baby is perfect.
I like how little the baby looks because of all of the empty space. How did
Yeah.
that baby,
The
if
negative
that
space
baby
there really
only
works.
knew what it was so close to.
Why do you think the baby doesn't know?
It doesn't know about Skittles.
Are those Skittles or M&Ms?
Here's Skittles.
Those are Skittles. Those Skittles are forever ruined.
Another picture that's creative because of the use of negative space here.
Yeah.
I like that picture a lot. The light is, it's very low key. He does have like a point of white in the eyes, which is really nice. And he's kind of looking off camera too towards the light. I think it's a great shot. I like that. Very creative.
What? What are you laughing at? What is this?
It reminded me of a perfume ad. And I actually thought I thought he was holding a bottle of perfume.
What is that?
I see he's got scars on his chest. Is that maybe like a pacemaker thing? Now we have to know, right? Because this is the age of the internet. Intermedics relay. Let's see. Are you looking that up, Justin?
Yeah, I can.
We'll put
Okay.
Jack.
I
like it.
Cool shot. At first, I thought it was satirizing perfume ads, and that's why I laughed.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see the detail in that. But it's something different. Justin's figuring it out. We'll come back. Kids with cameras. Photographers love portraits that include cameras. That looks like our Canon A1. Nice shot. I like that. There's
like
some
it too.
motion into it. I think we
Yeah.
can call it a creative portrait.
The
All right.
cards.
Yeah, and the
I think I
smoke
would
here
just
and the
bring up
creative
the
lighting.
highlights or something a little just to get the outline more.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that looks like there's a little smoke or something.
yeah, it's a little bit underexposed. We want to just bring it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, you got it might look different on your screen. Oh, that's looking so much better to me.
Oh, I love seeing all the smoke and stuff.
Yeah, right away, just brightening
Very
that
cool.
up, just before and after. I mean, you have to look at the histogram. You can't just trust your screen. Everybody has a different
Wait.
screen. Oh yeah, making it cool. Nicely done. Those few edits, I think, made a big difference.
Cool photo.
Did you figure that thing out, Justin?
It's a cardiac pacemaker.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was completely wrong.
Like that.
But then I guess
that was
pacemaker
good
and-
storytelling then.
Yeah. Yeah, that knowing what that is helps out a lot. And if I had pondered it for even a few seconds, I did figure it out pretty quickly. So in that
Wow.
case, yeah, and including the scars as part of the story is
Yeah.
what clued me in, since I'm not familiar with pacemaker manufacturers.
Ooh,
Oh.
this one's awesome.
Yeah, beautiful makeup.
How did they do that makeup? That is so cool. That must be like liquid latex or something.
Yeah,
Very
great processing.
Creepy.
Nice job on the skin. Beautiful shot.
My only thing is I would like eye contact. Looking at this false lash line here.
Hmm.
And if she had opened her eyes and been making eye contact, it would have been better. But look at this. I love her flawless. She's flawless. Very cool.
She woke up like that.
I wish I woke up like that. I like this. It's cute.
It is. That looks a lot like our LED
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
thing. Misfocus a little bit on the eyes. I know it can be really tough.
Oh, this is Sam's. I like this.
Oh, is
photo.
it? Yeah. Watermark. That's just beautiful. I love using the snow like that.
Yeah, I love the snow.
Turned out great. Striking.
It's like the pixel stick.
Yeah, we have to get on that review.
That's
Oh my God,
cool.
we have
Looks
so much
like
good
she's
to
like
review.
sitting in it, for cabaret or
Yeah,
that's cool.
I like that. Very creative.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, that's.
I
a
might
cool bit of
actually,
storytelling.
I think it'd be really cool to edit this in the style of a comic book, like punch up the colors
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
and kind of make the picture itself cartoony.
Yeah, I kind of wanted one other element to the mood, like maybe up lighting instead of top lighting like that. Maybe like a little bit of smoke or something in the background. Just one
Yeah.
more bit of mood, but I think it's very cool.
Chandler, oh my
Wow.
gosh, you're scary.
Wow.
That's definitely creative, and
Yeah,
I'll never sleep again.
great edit. Let's see how many pictures we have. Oh my goodness. We'll toss it back to Siobhan. I'll pick out the best of these. Siobhan, you have any other questions or comments for us?
Miss Anday says she's setting up an iPad photo booth for her brother's wedding. Will a 240 LED light panel be enough for lighting? Looking at the Genere Spectral LED Essential 240 Daylight Light
I'm sorry, it's for portraits during a wedding?
For a photo booth.
for a photo booth.
I don't even know. I don't know that model.
I mean, you'll be able to take pictures. You could take pictures in natural light. You just have to use a higher ISO. It depends on the distance to the subject. I don't know if
Well,
it's
it's probably
being
going to be
diffused
dark
or whatnot.
if it's going to be a photo booth at a. Did you say at a wedding, Siobhan? Yeah, it's at a wedding, so.
I mean,
Yeah,
photo booths
for like
are
a wedding
usually
photo booth.
really small. So I would guess that the light is pretty close to them. So it's distance to the subject, it's the ISO that you're using, it's in addition to the ambient light, it's how the light's being modified or diffused, because the diffuser will cut the light dramatically. So there's no way for us to answer that
Well,
question.
it's really hard too, because usually in those photo booths they get big groups. So
Yeah,
would
we also
probably-
don't know how big of an area
I would
it's
probably-
being spread.
yeah.
Is it like one person right on their face, or is it across a group of 20? There's no way for us to know.
yeah,
You just have to try it.
good practice.
Yeah, or I mean, you'll get it done. It'll be the light that you have, but you might be at ISO 3200, or you might be at ISO 100. I don't know.
I would go for a bigger light.
I wouldn't recommend using continuous. I would normally use a strobe, but LEDs can be pretty good. What else do you have, Siobhan?
A sweetie. She has a sweetie pie.
An adorable child.
She is pretty adorable.
She smiled.
If I set back button focus on the GH4, I seem to lose autofocus continuous. What am I doing wrong?
Man, you could feel this one, Justin. Well,
Siobhan, is this your friend? Is that Amanda? Does that not
Oh.
look a lot like her?
that sure does look like Amanda.
Justin?
I'm sorry. What was the question? I'm sorry. I was reading comments.
I think you were saying I didn't totally understand the question. Could you repeat the question, Siobhan?
Siobhan, what's
and
the
also
question?
address whether that's Amanda?
It's not Amanda.
That is not Amanda, but it
Okay.
does look like her. God, what was the question? Let's see if I probably
Something about a
deleted it.
GH4
Oh,
and
that's
back
amazing.
button focus, but I didn't follow it.
Sorry, hold on. Yes, if I set back button focus on the GH4, I seem to lose autofocus continuous. What am I doing wrong?
I don't know.
I don't know either, because we do so much manual focusing with video, believe it or not, and just focus peaking. I don't trust the GH4's focus stuff for video anyway.
Yeah,
I just never use it.
yeah.
Really.
Sorry, I'm not sure I can't troubleshoot that.
What
Any other
else?
questions for us?
Yes. I'm going to Disney World on Tuesday, and I'm just wondering, can you shoot fireworks without a tripod, or is it pretty much a necessity?
Yes, but again, I think I'm better at hand holding than most people. With image stabilization and fairly slow shutter speeds, you can also use image stacking. Just hold down the shutter, click, 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 align the pictures in Photoshop, and then blend them together. You can look at our Star Trails video in the night photography chapter of Stunning Digital Photography, and it'll show you how to add multiple pictures together to basically give you a long exposure. Add in the process where you align the layers in Photoshop, and that will solve the handheld part of it. So yes, you definitely can. Might take a little post, might take a little creative support to get a
Little
longer
elbow
exposure out of
grease.
it. I guess I was thinking resting your arms
I was thinking-
on something.
That's a lot. I'd rather just bring a tripod.
Yeah, you could probably just bring a tripod. Let's go. I picked out just the most creative portraits
Okay,
here.
let's look through them.
I thought this was just a great composition, the way they included the gun. It's clearly a bit of cosplay here. She's some cartoon character that I'm not familiar with. But it's all really well done. I like the composition and the expression and everything. It's supposed to be going to the next picture. This is like a long exposure of a person. They fired the strobe and then she moved.
Yeah, I think this is amazing. I love this picture.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too.
Yeah. This one's interesting. I like the background. Again, like we were talking about the full story, he looks kind of gritty and tough. The background looks gritty and tough. It works.
Yes. Now, if this were in midday sun in full color, made the mood consistent, and that's why the picture really works.
Whoa, I love this.
Yeah, one of my favorite pictures of the night. Just a very simple. We saw a couple of silhouettes,
Yeah.
but this one is really striking, and the clouds are just great. Nicely done.
This is incredible.
Yeah, I thought this was really cool too. We've done some levitation photography stuff, but I really find the use of the string compelling. That's your eye through it all.
What
I
does
like
it
that picture a
mean?
lot. That I can't.
This is cool.
Yeah. To we've discussed some negative space stuff before, and I just thought it was a beautiful
Yeah.
sky and a great idea. And if you're a photographer and you see a great sky, it's a great
This
idea.
picture is amazing.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. The building in the background helps to tie it in because it lets you know where she's coming from.
I
It's
feel
a
like
key
she's
part of the
running
story.
away from her posh upbringing, and she's running away with like the stable boy or something.
Right, because part of the storytelling is you just look at the architecture of the building
Mhm.
and your brain fills it in. I'm not doing this because it makes it better, I'm doing this because it makes it worse. But if we crop her out, suddenly it's a much less interesting picture.
Yeah, the story, you're just like, why is she running?
Right.
Yeah.
But put the building in, it means so much more. Great use of storytelling.
This is insane.
Yeah, this is simply a spectacular comp.
Yeah,
It really is great.
that's amazing.
Um,
I think I saw this on 500px.
oh, really? Well,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll have to do
pleased
a
this person is
Google
watching.
image search and see where that's
Fantastic
really
shot. 5 stars pick.
5 stars pick.
Okay, I think that was the last one.
All
We'll
right.
go back to Siobhan for one more question, and then we'll get out of here. We're
Yeah,
here
oh my
every
gosh.
Thursday at 5 o'clock. Join us live. Spend some time hanging out in the comments, and it's mostly just a chat room, and we entertain people briefly while you don't pay attention to us. What other questions do you have, Siobhan?
A couple. Eric Lowenbach says that he used to work for Rangefinder magazine.
Cool. I like Eric.
Oh, cool. I thought
Yeah,
he was
he's
going to say
great.
something after that, like those guys are a bunch of jerks or something.
No,
They'll
that's all.
never pay you. Okay, cool.
We have a couple photography jokes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Lay 'em
let us
on me.
have it.
I've heard this one before. What's the difference between a full-time photographer and a large Costco pizza? A large Costco pizza.
We'll feed a
Feed a
family.
family of four.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That is a pretty good one.
Also, the photographer at the nudist club. All his pictures were overexposed.
Oh.
Yeah, that got the same reaction from all of us.
Yes. Kyle Wolf has another longish question, like he does. Do you guys know what the best way to invert black and white film negatives in Lightroom is? He's been scanning in medium format negatives with his A7, and when he inverts the RGB curves in Lightroom, it makes it so all the sliders are reversed, blacks or whites, shadows or highlights, and the exposure is reversed. Is there any way to invert without this happening?
Oh, I feel like I ran into this somewhere along the line, but unfortunately I don't have the answer for you. I would Google it.
Converting black and white negatives, I think you can just invert them. I mean, I used to do this. I used to scan film all the time, and I thought it was just image invert. I thought there was just a command for it. But he's talking about RGB and stuff, which makes me think it's not black and white. I don't know that I totally understood the question.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing. Like somebody's made a Photoshop action for it, but also your scanning software should handle it automatically. So I guess I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
just
really
have to
hard
say
for me
I
too.
don't know
Some of the
sometimes.
longer questions I'm like just so hands-on. I'm like, I wish I could just like do it for them or something.
Yeah, and I have done it. I knew at one point, but I haven't scanned film in like 15
Me.
years. So,
It's been a while.
anything else before we wrap it up, Siobhan?
Everyone's asking for you to show the poll results, but I thought you did that
Oh.
already.
No, I did have a second poll.
Oh, the dynamic range.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad people reminded me because sometimes I need a
See,
reminder.
sometimes they pay attention to you, Tone.
Yeah, people.
We got our own
Let's
book.
see if people care about. This is not the right poll. Let's see if people care about dynamic range.
I care.
Uh,
Yes, I recover shadows all the time.
Interesting.
Oh,
So
who
people-
cares about this nonsense?
Oh, only 22.
People are way more interested in sharpness than dynamic range.
I think
That's kind of what
dynamic-
I wanted to learn.
Range is important.
Yeah, we're in the I recover shadows all the time category, I think. So many types of photography.
Well, like just for example, we were just in Boston and the sun was setting, and there was this beautiful building and this pond in front of it, and it was impossible, unless I was going to do HDR, to get the whole thing
Yeah.
exposed properly.
Yeah,
But we
and
took-
sometimes you can't do HDR because there's moving subjects or whatever get all screwed up.
Yeah,
It's definitely easier when you just make one picture to
Yeah.
save your time.
Yeah, we took a picture. The camera had great dynamic range. We were able to bring up the shadows, and it was like wonderful. It's terrible when you take a picture and you go to bring up the shadows and there's like nothing there, or it's so grainy, or
Yeah, I asked just for my own purposes. I'd like to understand what's important to people because sometimes, we review stuff in the context of what's important to us.
yeah,
And sometimes we care about different things. So
true.
sharpness very important, dynamic range
Okay,
not so
okay.
important.
Got to make a video about sharpness.
You got one last question for us, Siobhan?
Let's see. If Lightroom has given you a drinking problem,
What?
I don't
only
know.
because it gave him one.
Oh,
Well, I will say, pulling up, like doing those comparison photos of the 50 megapixel 5DS-R raw photo against 36 megapixel D810
yeah.
and trying to like drag them around and adjust the exposure on two pictures at once.
Oh, I bet it was slow.
Oh, I have the world's, like, I won't say the world's fastest computer, but it's basically like the fastest consumer computer you could possibly build, and then it's overclocked with water stuff. And I crazy exposure one stop, and then it's like a good, like, it's like a good 15 seconds or something. I'm like pulling out my phone. I'm like bored, like, oh. And like 3 times.
This was-
I guess I didn't go make myself a cocktail, but I definitely got frustrated and bored. So, in spirit, yes. Okay, thanks, guys. Thank you to our sponsor, who is Squarespace.
Our photo theme next week is kids.
Kids.
And I'd also like to thank for providing us with excellent websites and also for making this show possible. So
Yep.
thank you very much.
If you want to sign up for your own awesome website, go to squarespace.com/Tony. And then if you decide to sign up after your 14-day free trial, no credit card required, use the coupon code PORTFOLIO. And you'll get yourself 10% off. And we don't get any money, but it lets them know that
you like
heard
us.
about it
Darn
from
it. We're
us.
persuasive.
Thanks so much. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Here's Tigar. Hopefully. Justin's looking for the Tigar outro.
Here we go.
That is all.